an industry where one hit song can change an artist's life overnight, the contract behind that song can determine who actually benefits from the success. From record deals and publishing to masters, royalties, streaming income, producer splits, and exit clauses. Understanding the fine print has never been more important. Now, joining us is entertainment lawyer Adaora Nwachukwu, who will help us break down what every artist should know before signing away the rights to their music. Adaora, thank you for joining us today.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Now, let's start with the basics, right? When an emerging artist is offered a record label, you know, or a gig, as we may say, a deal, what are the 5 things that they absolutely must understand before putting pen to paper?
So if I understand your question correctly, you want to know the 5 things that an artist needs to know and bear in mind before they can go ahead to sign the contract.
Yes, and if there is more, please.
We hear a lot of these deals that they sign.
It seems like every year somebody comes to complain that they're not giving me my money and I don't know what I signed.
What did they miss?
So obviously an artist is an artist that knows all about music. They don't really know the legal side of things. So I don't really blame them. But then it's very simple. Just get an entertainment lawyer to look through your contract before you sign it. You can't they give you a paper and you go ahead and sign it. It doesn't work that way. You have to know the content. So I think that's the main issue. So if you say 5 things that they need to know before they sign the contract, I'd say have an entertainment lawyer, know some terms that you need to avoid, and, you know, don't sign in a haste. Make sure you know where you stand and what you want, you know, stuff like that.
You know, when you say that, my mind was thinking, there are some people out there probably watching, they're young, and they're thinking, how do I afford an entertainment lawyer? You know, that's their first thought, you know, so how can they skip that hurdle?
Okay, so it's really not that expensive, to be honest. If you have a cousin or if you have an uncle who is a lawyer, the person can help you go through it. But if you don't have any of these people, lawyers can charge as low as maybe 150, depending when you come nicely to the person. So I always suggest you go for an entertainment lawyer, but most times any lawyer can, you know, generally get the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, if you say that price, because I'm wondering, 50K, 100K, you know, to say the list, right? And it's a one-time thing. It's not.
It's like a one-time thing, totally. Yeah. Yeah, unlike the music industry where someone can put something in perpetuity or something you have to keep collecting. Lawyers are careful to do that because there's the NBA, we have our own group that will come for you if you try anything silly like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. We hear, I mean, a lot of artists typically hear royalties, and everybody assumes that if my song should hit millions, right, then money must be flowing into my account. Like, I must be getting it. But can you help, like, put it in layman terms, what are royalties? And where do artists commonly lose money? Like, where's the money coming from? Are they making money? How are they losing money?
Okay, I want to start by mentioning the fact that I think artists they're not educated enough about these things. Royalties, the fact that you make music and it goes viral, I mean, you're supposed to get something, but the fact that you see $100K from that song doesn't mean $100K should enter your account. There's a lot that goes on. You have to deduct, you know, cost of everything before you get your percentage, and also your percentage depends on how much you guys have agreed upon in the contract. So your question is, what is royalty? So royalty is the income, layman terms, royalty is the income that is proceeds of the exploitation of your music. Yes.
Okay, so talking about ownership of this song now, you know, for example, somebody has a hit song. Let's use Slick, for example.
I like that one. I'm going to take your body now meets pie, but go on. Slick is good.
I love it too, don't worry.
Let's use Slick, for example. Who owns the song? The artist? The person who wrote the song? The person who recorded the song? Or the producer?
Okay, so when people ask this question, it sounds like there's a big deal that's supposed to be behind it, but it's very simple. what did we agree upon in the contract? It's just simple that way. Before we made a contract, before we made this song, there's something called a split sheet. Split sheet is where you write, this is the person that owns the masters, this is how much goes to the person. You know, it's just as simple as that. So far as you have a split sheet and you have a contract, there's almost not going to be any issue unless the other person is acting out of ignorance. But the contract is what actually binds the parties. It's simple.
Okay, so where are they now getting it wrong? Because every 5 Eke market day, like the president usually says,
we'll just see disputes.
I mean, recently,
everybody is saying,
King
money they
Madi.
did not take from me, money they did not give me.
King Madi.
Yes.
There's just a lot.
Yeah.
So what do they take? What happens in those cases? What can we learn from these disputes?
Okay, so a pattern I have noticed, which is very consistent in these issues, is the fact that most of them, when they are trying to blow up, they are very hungry and desperate for fame and success. So they tend to sign contracts that they don't even understand. They don't know the details of. So that's why in future there's now an issue. And then the guy is like, I mean, it's there, you know, you saw it. But then the person is like, you know, confused and stuff. So I think the problem is signing contracts they don't know of. Yeah. So I don't know what the issue with King Madi, I don't know the details, but I definitely know for sure that if there's a contract that stipulates something and you signed it, it's binding to you.
Right. I want to bring this home because we're talking, you know, Afrobeats, we're talking King Madi, we're talking these allegations, but I also want to learn, what's the difference between owning, you know, publishing and owning your masters? Because they start to break it down.
The English is usually very big.
Easy.
Help us.
Okay, so when you make a music, the master's recording is the one you record and sing in the studio, the original one.
Oh, okay.
That is the master's. So that's the one you remake. That's the one you use for sync, or if you want to, if a movie, let me break it down. If a movie, for example, wants to use your music in their song, it's that master's they need. So let's just say master's is the original copy.
Okay.
Yes, the one the recording artist made in the studio. So the master's is the most valuable. That's like basically your intellectual property.
And owning that will now again go back to it, what you signed in the contract. Because it can be that even though it's your voice, it's your master, it's you that, but it's...
If it is you that did this and did that, and you have signed away your rights in that contract, you said, the masters, I don't want, give it to somebody else.
I just do the work.
It is binding on you.
Oh my.
I mean, there are other things you can do, like go to court, ADR, but ordinarily, it's binding. It's
Okay,
binding on you.
what I want to ask, because we've seen a lot of cases where a manager owns the masters, a record label, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Why do artists sign away their masters? We saw it with Taylor Swift, and she couldn't buy hers back, so she basically re-recorded her entire catalog. So why would an artist give someone else? Why would they sell rights to your masters?
It still goes back to the contracts we spoke of. Most times they don't do it intentionally. They are not aware of it. They don't even know. They hide these things in clauses. And then if you don't read it properly or get an entertainment lawyer to look at it, it just happens. So I don't think there's any artist in their sane mind that will sign away their masters. It's usually in the contracts you signed away without knowing.
Okay, so let me take you up on that.
But she said
Since you
something.
mentioned clauses, right? What are some of the biggest red flags you've seen in some of these clauses?
Oh, the one I hate the most is in perpetuity. In perpetuity just means that when somebody's supposed to take money from a contract, maybe if the record label is supposed to take a certain percentage, if you say it's in perpetuity, it means it's to keep going. It's keep going in a cycle. I find that very unfair because do you own the person's life to be getting in perpetuity?
Basically, as long as that song is in the airwaves.
Even if he dies, actually.
Yes.
Even if you die,
As long as the
he's
music
making
is
money.
still playing, the record label is making money.
Exactly. So in perpetuity should be one. Another one is no audit rights. So no audit rights just basically says that you can't go back to audit what the record label has given you. For example, I usually include audit rights in my contracts because you need to be able to go back and say, okay, the record label paid me 1 million from this song. Is it 1 million that the report says? Is it, you need to be able to go back, recalculate, look at the details, the distribution, everything that the record label has given you should be able to go back and recalculate and check. So if there's no audit rights, you won't be able to do that. Yeah.
One of the things we've noticed, again, with all these disputes is, you know, whether it's someone saying they were not credited enough, they didn't get enough compensation. We've heard songs that were big, and meanwhile, the songwriter maybe collected 50,000 naira, and the song has gone further. How, in that case, would, you know, someone properly get compensation if you feel you were not properly compensated about producing or writing, maybe?
Okay, if I get your question right, you want to know what the person can do if you think you weren't properly compensated.
Right.
Okay, so I need people to know the difference between unfair and illegal. If something is unfair, it's between me, you, and your conscience. There's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
But if it's illegal, it is against the law. You can go to court, you know, ADR, you can fight for your rights. That's what Charlie Poppy is doing right now. He's trying to go to court. So there's nothing like if I wasn't properly compensated. I mean, what did our contract say? What did we agree on? I told you I'll give you 10%, you agreed. So why are you changing your mouth now? Yeah, so I mean, you accepted the little percentage, so why are you complaining now? Yeah, so it all boils down to what the contract says.
That is a sign that watch these contracts.
It all boils down to what the contract says.
Yes. Read the fine line.
We're still going to have more conversations about this. Adaora is still with us. In the meantime, we have to go on a very quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. But remember that you can be a part of this conversation. You have a question for Adaora, please send them in on WhatsApp and on YouTube. We'll be right back. All right, thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Take 3. Adaora Nwachukwu is still with us, who is an entertainment lawyer, and we're talking the business side of music. Now, when an artist accuses a label of unpaid royalties or contract breach or whatnot, what must they prove legally to win the case? Bearing in mind that lately, we've had various cases.
A lot.
Even the Mr. P's, the Mr. P and Co.
Oh my God.
Peter and Paul, King Maddie and Co. You know,
I think
Now we have
it's about to be
Shaver,
around-
Charlie Poppy.
Davido said he's about to talk too, so maybe a lot.
I was just joking, though.
I don't think so.
I can't wait for David Zoe.
Yeah, a lot of people are speaking up now. Okay, so your question is...
What must they do to legally win? You know?
Okay. All right, so what must they do before so they can legally win?
Yeah.
So firstly, you need to refer back to your contract, what was put in the contract, and then you check if anything in the contract has been breached. Breach of contract, obviously. Then you go to court. If the court awards you and say... awards you and you win, then of course they can give you your damages.
So everything is all about the contract.
Hey!
Like, you know, that's the same thing she'd be saying.
Oh my
Because
God.
I'm wondering, it's happening with the old generation, the older generation, and even the new cats as well. So
Yes.
is it that there is no teaching in place, or there is no lesson in place, or people are just being dubious and greedy and mischievous? I'm trying to...
I think it's a bit of both.
They want to break the clause, pass through the clauses, break
I'm trying to understand.
I'm sorry, but
it.
I think it's a bit of both, Sha. But I don't really think.
I started by saying that I think they're not sensitized enough. People need to, they don't take information seriously. You need to know. So, I mean, he who asserts must prove. If you're claiming that something has been breached, if you go to court, you prove it, you show your contracts and where you think it's been breached. I think one of it is that he said they forged his signature. That's very huge. I mean, if that really happened, it's crazy. Somebody's definitely getting a term. So, yeah.
You know, while we're talking about this is not just something that happens here in Nigeria. You know, and for different reasons, people have signed contracts, and I'm a huge fan of John Bellion. And it was a surprise to me that I remember he stopped releasing solo music back in 2019 because according to this, he was trapped in an unfavorable, lopsided record and touring contract. So not just for the music was making, but even for touring. Now, he revealed that his advance repayments relied only on hard ticket sales. So, I mean, these contracts could really vary from a lot of things.
Exactly. That's why, again, entertainment lawyer, because you might read it yourself, you might not see it. ChatGPT might go through it, I might not see it.
Hey.
You had that.
You need an entertainment lawyer. Even sometimes a lawyer who doesn't do entertainment might see it and maybe not get some things. That's why I said entertainment lawyer.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, So that means that the likes of Charlie Poppy, Sheyi Vibes, T.I. Blaze, King Madi, I mean, the P-Squares are still in court. The X, the defunct P-Square, they are in court.
The Okoye brothers. No, they're no longer P-Square. We have to refer to them as the Okoye brothers.
Okay.
At this point,
so that means everybody should go to court or go back and check their contract.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Know what you are signing. Before you put pen to paper, come and meet Adaora.
Our friends.
And others.
But let me say, finally, if you could give every young artist, right, advice before signing, besides this contract, anything else that they should be, you know, planning ahead, looking forward to just...
Yes, I sensitize people all the time on my TikTok. You need to, if you are an upcoming artist watching this, I need you to know that that record label that has approached you for that deal, it means they see something in you. So don't feel too anxious to sign away your rights. You need to make sure you get an entertainment lawyer to look through your contract. And also, if anybody is trying to rush you in a haste to sign something, just know that there's something they don't want you to see. So yeah, just make sure you get an entertainment lawyer to see your contract. So far as that person saw you, they saw something in you that another person can see. So don't be in a rush. You're the talent. Because tomorrow when you have fame, you now start calling that you're born, insulting the person. Yeah, so
is that rush?
Yeah.
Because
it's the hunger.
It's the hunger. It's the Nigerian economy.
You know what I would say is that artists like singers and all of that, find side hustle. Find something else that is actually putting food on your table. It reduces the hunger and it reduces the chances of exploitation. If you know, so that if they say, oh, we're not signing if you don't give us our masters, you know that there's food on your table, there's food at home.
Yeah.
If not, you come and be tweeting because there's nothing we can do. Oh my God. We can't do anything for them. The ones that are tweeting.
I am just exhausted.
Exactly.
We'll just be using our data to say, hey, we cannot do more than that.
But of course, Adaora Nwachukwu, entertainment lawyer, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
We'll have you some other time.
All right,
you look absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Of course, you're still watching Take 3. We'll go on a very quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.